What's going on? My name is Jason Parks, the Media Captain. Today I'm going to talk about personal injury SEO and why it's so competitive. So let's dive right into it. So the reason why personal injury law is so competitive is because a case can be very lucrative. It could be worth millions of dollars. So if there's a slip and fall accident or an auto accident, those cases can pay out millions of dollars. So lawyers naturally want to get those cases, and a lot of those cases come from Google. So it's very sought after, that first page positioning on Google. On the PPC side, it can be north of $60, $70 per click for PI attorneys. Obviously on SEO, you don't have to pay per click, which is why it's so coveted to have that placement. But that's the reason it's so competitive versus many other industries, is that the payout is big. So a lot of people want to be on that first page of Google. The reason why most PI attorneys are discouraged when it comes to SEO is because they've spent thousands, possibly tens of thousands of dollars on an SEO company, and it hasn't worked. They've been burned. They spent that money, they didn't get page one positioning, and that happens. That happens for our clients, where we don't always get on the first page of Google for our clients. But I'm going to talk in more detail about the steps you need to take to ensure that happens and that you're monitoring your SEO performance properly. But yeah, a big reason why a lot of PIs have negative sentiment towards SEO is because it just hasn't worked for them. But talk to those attorneys who are on the first page of Google. They're going to be happy because they're getting a lot of business from that. The first place I'm going to start is actually not on the website. It's your Google Business Profile. The Google Business Profile, formerly Google My Business, has the star ratings. It's very prominent. It's located at the top of Google. Google only shows 3 attorneys at the very top in that placement. So you want to get on there. If you really want to do a deep dive into Google Business Profile optimization, I wrote a blog on this, and I'll link to it within the YouTube description. But we recommend being very proactive with your reviews. Incentivizing attorneys and staff to get reviews is a great way to bolster your review presence and get more online reviews. Another thing is the primary category. Make sure you don't just have that as attorney, that you have it marked as personal injury attorney. That's going to help. Primary category is one of the most important local SEO ranking factors. And another thing is just make sure that your pictures are up to date and fresh and clean and modern, because that's going to help also. So those are some quick tips on Google Business Profile. Again, read my blog for more information on that. Earlier, I talked about attorneys feeling burned with their SEO, that it hasn't worked for them. One thing that's really important to understand is the authority score. This is a metric. You might have heard domain authority. There's authority score. We use SEMrush for a lot of our SEO items, and we absolutely love looking at authority score. A lot of PI attorneys, let's say they spin off from a prior firm they were working at, they start their new firm, and they think they're just going to rank on Google by hiring an SEO company. That's not how it works. If you have a low authority score, it's going to take a long time, not necessarily a long time, but it's an uphill battle to start outranking some of the powerhouse competitors. Authority is all predicated based off of the domain, based off of backlinks pointing to your site. So if you have a brand new site, there's no links pointing to it. A PI attorney that's been around since 1978 is getting all of these media mentions. Yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle to surpass them. But that's why you need to be focusing on quality links to your site if you have a low authority score. If you have big cases and you can get mentioned in the local press, that's great. If there are local directories, there's local legal directories like Justia and FindLaw. Make sure that your law firm is listed on those. Those aren't follow links, but it still has authority. The other thing is just in your local market, PI SEO, personal injury SEO, is very localized. So when you get backlinks or when you get referenced on local sites like the Better Business Bureau, the Chamber, if there's a neighborhood directory that lists businesses, all of those things are going to help build credibility. So you need to make sure there's credibility, and that's all about the foundation. Too many attorneys overlook this. The next thing that we're going to dive into is the foundation of your website. So we covered Google My Business. We covered just the kind of the backlink profile and the importance of authority score. The next one is just the foundation of your site. With attorneys, A lot of attorneys, I'll say it, they're a little greedy. They don't just want to rank in their home market. Like I'm based in Columbus. We work with a lot of Columbus attorneys, and they don't just want to rank in Columbus. They want to rank in Columbus and Toledo and Dayton and Cincinnati. And when you want to do that, you have to build out a lot of city level pages. So I would say one of the most important things is just having the right foundation. In all of those cities, do you have physical locations? Is the content unique on those city level pages? Do you have too many pages that are cannibalizing each other? So just make sure that you have the right foundation first and foremost based off of your business objectives. A lot of times I tell PI attorneys that, hey, let's rank in your own backyard. Like let's rank in Columbus before we try ranking in 10 different markets. Too often I see attorneys get too greedy and wanting to rank in too many places. Then again, we work with a lot of attorneys where we have success with city level pages. So you just want to make sure that you get that right foundation, and consulting with an SEO expert can help with that. I now want to move on to keyword research. Before we start any SEO campaign for a personal injury attorney, we create a very comprehensive keyword list. This includes all of the different practice areas. I mean, there's keywords for personal injury, there's auto accident, there's dog bite, there's train accidents. There's a lot of different keywords. So we come up with a comprehensive list of hundreds of keywords that not only do we want to track within SEMrush so we can monitor progress versus competitors, but that we also want to implement throughout the site. So before you just get started with SEO, again, I'm big on like having a foundation and a structure, and having a comprehensive keyword list is very important. We also like to review this with the attorney to make sure that there's alignment on the keywords, because obviously the PI attorney is the expert in a lot of that. They're able to add valuable insight. We're now going to move on to on-site optimization. So at this point, you should have your keyword list. There's hundreds of keywords that you could optimize for. And now it's time to improve your website. Obviously, we talked about having a good structure, which is important. And now it's time to optimize these pages. So if you have an auto accident page, you want to make, and let's say the attorney is in Columbus, you want to make sure that the page is getting optimized for Columbus auto accident attorney, Columbus car crash lawyer. There's a lot of different keywords that you can get on the page. So you want to optimize pages efficiently based off of the keywords. It's not that easy though. It's not just adding in keywords. A lot of times content is thin. It doesn't have a lot of information on it. So you want to expand on content. One thing we love to do with our PI attorneys is ask questions, like for auto accident, for example, what are the nearby hospitals in the local market that somebody would be transported to? What's the police station that would be dispatched to a crash in that market? Who are the attorneys at your office? If you have multiple offices, who are the attorneys that would meet at that specific location? What's the local court that somebody would go to if they were in an accident in that area? So too often with PI attorneys, the content is, it can be fluff-esque, where it's just not a lot of depth to it. And that makes me concerned, because if you have too much repetitive content, you can get dinged by Google. So when you're optimizing pages, you want to make sure that there's unique information. And an agency like ours can help, but you should have an agency facilitating communication with the attorney, because the attorney has so much valuable insight, and that can really help improve your SEO rankings when you get unique, fresh content onto a page that has a lot of keyword references. We see too many attorneys fail miserably when it comes to their blog strategy. There's this misconception that fresh content is going to help your SEO rankings, and Google likes fresh content. If the content isn't adding value, it could actually do more harm than good. So make sure you're strategic in the topics that you select, in that they're localized and can drive in new business. For example, steps to take after getting hit by a drunk driver in Ohio. That is a topic that expands on your auto accident practice area page. It's something that someone would be searching for after getting hit by a drunk driver that could result in a case for your firm. So come up with a list of topics that can generate new potential business. And if your blog is fluff, you might just want to pause, reset, and further analyze to make sure you improve upon that. YouTube is very similar to the blog. You can literally pick the same exact blog topics, record a YouTube video, just like I'm doing now, get a nice video set up, and you can embed those videos on your blog, and that could help you rank on the first page of Google. So again, too often, if somebody does have a YouTube presence, they're just recording videos that are more like nationally focused versus picking strategic, localized topics. And YouTube's the second largest search engine in the world, folks. So utilize YouTube, and you will see success for your PI firm if the topics are selected strategically. All right, I know that was a lot of information on SEO for PI attorneys. I wrote a blog on this same topic, and I'm going to link to it below. Just know that there are a lot of pieces to the puzzle to succeeding in personal injury SEO, but I've listed those all out. And if you follow the proper playbook, you can rank on the first page of Google. It just doesn't happen overnight all the time, and there's a lot of strategy and thought that goes into it. Again, my name is Jason Parks of the Media Captain. I hope you found this helpful.